welcome to another episode of Invite Sacred Home with Thérèse Eve. That's me, and I'm so excited to be here with you. Today, we're going to talk about how to develop a spiritual practice. And, let me just tell you a little bit about me. Again, my name is Thérèse Eve. I am a sensual feminine confidence coach, a master herbalist, also an astrologer, a whole host of other things. But really, at the end of the day, I'm all about holistic wellness and living from a state of, kind of spiritually devoted. I seek spirit in my ancestors in everything that I do. I have a deep spiritual practice. I want to share that with you. I want to talk to you a little bit about how you can get started in your own spiritual practice. Because what I've realized is that the spaces that I occupy, oftentimes we talk about doing the work, but I really don't believe that people understand what that means. They just nod their head, yeah, yeah, yeah. But you don't really see the effects of a spiritual practice in their lives by the way they speak, the way they act. Because you see, when you have a connection to spirit, right? Whether you call spirit Allah, you call spirit God. For me, I call spirit and God, they're interchangeable. And, my walk in life, just to tell you a little bit about my background, is I was raised a Catholic. I went to Catholic school. I went to parochial school, as they say. So I started out in an Episcopal school, and then I went to a Catholic school. I was raised a Catholic. Had first communion as a Catholic. I was confirmed as a Catholic. I went through life as a Catholic. My mother, she didn't care what you wanted. You were going to be a Catholic whether you liked it or not, and you were going to Catholic school whether you liked it or not. It was not up for discussion. She said, you can go be whatever you want to be, but as long as I'm living, you are a Catholic. Okay? Old West Indian mother, I was raised a West Indian in America. And anybody knows West Indian people, and me being a first generation West American, that means that they didn't care what went on outside. They would tell you, listen, I don't care what's going on outside. What goes on in here is the most important thing. And if you don't like what's going on in here, you can go outside and stay outside. Right? That's the kind of attitude that my mom kind of had, Just very much a person of value, morals, and traditions. So I was always a seeker, though. All my life, I was a seeker as far as I can remember. And the other twist of it is that, my mom, she was a student of unity. Well, unity is a combination of Christianity and metaphysics, right? It was founded by Charles Fillmore. And, it was part of my upbringing. My mom had cancer on and off most of my life from the time I was 7 years old. And she believed in unity, right? Whenever she had surgery or something was going on, she would call them and ask them to pray with her. And so that became the fibers of my existence. And I really didn't realize it until I was going to school for my bachelor's degree in metaphysics. And I realized that, wow, so much of my life parallel to the things that my mom had taught me indirectly, right? Not directly, but very much indirectly. And as I grew older, back in 1986, I was living in the DMV at the time because I live in the DMV. So it's my second time living in the DMV. So I was living in the DMV, and I got baptized at a Baptist church, and that was an amazing experience. I got baptized in water, and it was, very different than what I had studied as a Catholic. Fast forward, I moved back to New York, and I became a member of Christian Cultural Center with Dr. A.R. Bernard. And he really is the person that taught me the Bible. He taught me how to read the Bible. He taught me how to do the application. I was a student. We went to church, stood in line for an hour plus to go to 10 o'clock service. Those of you that may stumble upon this and know anything about Christian Cultural Center, we stood in line every Sunday for church, right? And you had to get there early. Otherwise, you had to get a little chair and you had to, like we wanted to go to church bad, okay? Because we had to stand in line. We brought our little folding chairs and they would kind of fit in the aisle or underneath the seat for us when we got inside the church. And he went with our Bibles, went with our notebooks, and we took notes. And it was the things that I learned, and I still hold true to this day, is application is the evidence of learning. That's one thing that I got from Dr. A.R. Bernard. And the other thing that I got is we live life on levels, we experience it in stages, and every level requires a maturing of our character, our wisdom, our knowledge, and our understanding. And those are two principles that I got from him that I live by to this day. I bring them up, give reverence to him because that's where I got them, and credit to him, but they have become the fibers of my life. And so my spiritual practice is I don't play about my spiritual practice, okay? I don't play about that. And here's why I don't, because it's the foundation of who I am. It's rooted in my values, right? I believe in spirit and I give honor and reverence to spirit. So what's this practice all about? Well, first of all, I meditate every day. Before I take on the world, before I touch my phone, before I do anything, I meditate. So for meditation, for many people, can be many different things, right? So if you wanted to start a meditation practice, I would just tell you to be still. Somehow learn how to still your mind. How you can get there, on a very simplistic, like today, watching this video, how can you get there? How can you begin meditation? I will tell you is that the way you can start is focus on your breath. Because focusing on your breath as you breathe in and out, that could be something that'll just get you to be mindful. That'll get you to be quiet and still. That's how I got started. Before I learned all these fancy, dancy, schmancy things, I have lots of titles. I very rarely talk about them. Like I'm a Reiki master teacher, and I'm a crystal healer, and I'm a this, and I'm a that, and I'm a this, and I'm a that, and I'm a master herbalist, and, like all the things. But at the end of the day, I just say I'm spiritually devoted. And I've learned that keeps me grounded, rooted. It keeps me sane. It allows me to show up as the most authentic version of myself. It has helped me grow. And I started with meditation and prayer. And when I speak about prayer, I'm not talking about asking God for stuff all the time, right? Because that's when sometimes when they're in crisis, they go to God. No. I stay with God, so I ain't got to go to God, okay? We won. We walk and talk to each other all day. For real, right? We walk and talk with each other all day, right? I seek Spirit's guidance. I seek God's guidance. And for me, Spirit and God are all the same. But in all the things that I do, I've learned through my meditation practice of being still and quiet, I can hear God talking to me. I know and I can feel in my body what's a yes, what's a no, what's a don't go there, all the things. It took time. One way you can get started is that I will tell everyone, first learn how to calm your mind and calm your body. And the easiest way to do that is to have a nightly cup of tea. Because you can't drink a hot cup of tea fast. That I could tell you. As an herbalist, I teach my participants, attendees, students, I teach them you cannot drink a hot cup of tea fast. So the first thing I get you to do is grab a journal. I like to make rituals of everything, right? When I get to talk about astrology, you'll learn that my chart is Capricorn and Venetian. Heavy Venus, Heavy Capricorn, which means that it's heavy Saturn. And heavy Saturn means that we got to learn stuff over time. Well, trust me, I've learned to walk with spirit over time. Because when I don't, life don't turn out the way I want it. So I have learned to be obedient, and walk with spirit and check in and know. Spirit comes, listen, I'm going to tell y'all about that in a minute. But let's get back to this practice. So the first thing that I'll tell you you should do to get a spiritual practice going is that, number one, you are nature. Your body, all of us, we occupy all of the 5 elements inside of us. And if we're missing one of them, we cannot live. Right? So we are nature. So that's the first piece that I want you to know. So every element that you see outside in the world is represented inside of you. That's the first. That's something I really want you to get. When you see the elements outside in the world, those elements are inside of you. I'm going to say that again, right? So fire is inside of you. Your structure, your bones are earth. Right? Without the bones, how the organs going, work together? The air, respiratory system, right? So when you think about it, we live life through these elements. And if you want to know more about the elements, you can take Herbalism in the Weekend. Go to herbalismintheweekend.com. There's your commercial. But anyway, you can drink a hot cup of tea every night before you go to bed. It'll still the mind. And focus on the tea. And focus on the water. And focus on tasting the tea. And focus on being still and quiet. And focus on one thing. It's going to take you some time to still your mind. But stilling the mind allows you, just let whatever is going in and out, go in and out. Don't ask for anything. If anything, speak into the water and say how grateful you are. Like, what are you grateful for? We're so busy always asking for things, but gratitude. What are you grateful for? I am so grateful for so many things. Things make me cry. I'm so grateful, right? That's something that I've been known for, to be so deep into gratitude. We're going to do another time about gratitude, right? Okay. Because I don't feel like crying today and tears won't, because it does make me very emotional, because that's how grateful I am. So now let's get out a journal. So let's say the first 2 weeks, you're just drinking a hot cup of tea every night. I want you to get in the habit of doing that and being still and quiet. You see, spirit speaks to us when we're still and quiet. Because like I always say, spirit ain't run down the street, run after you. Okay? You got to come over here to spirit. So the only way to do that is to calm down and relax and calm your mind, so that you can eventually become one with God, and God can just divinely drop nuggets into you. Because, listen, I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. So, you want to, one, figure out a tea. I'm going to tell you on the side, try not to put no sugar in it. Try to do some honey or low glycemic agave, right? Okay? Because we trying to make positive changes in our lives, so we trying to stay away from the sugar. But if you have to, because you're addicted, by all means, do what you got to do. Most importantly, I want you to get this hot cup of tea ritual going. Now, when you drink this hot cup of tea, the first 2 weeks, I just want you to focus on the tea, speak into the water what you're grateful for. And if you can't find something to be grateful for, then you need to sit there till you can figure it out. Because gratitude it will definitely adjust your attitude. And if you are here on this earth, and even the most difficult times, there is something that you can find to be grateful for. If it's as simple as, I woke up this morning. Okay? Because some people didn't wake up this morning. And because they didn't wake up, somebody's going through grief. I could speak to that because that's happened to me on a number of occasions. My mother, my father, my grandparents, My aunts, my uncles, they all deceased, including my husband. Yes, I'm a widow. So I'm telling you, there's something for you to be grateful for. Because I got plenty of things to be grateful for. Starting with the fact that I woke up this morning. Starting with the second thing is that I have a sound mind and a deep connection to spirit. Let me tell you, I don't know how everybody walk around here without a connection to God, but it's okay. If you hang around here long enough, I'm going to show you why that connection is going to be worth your while. Okay, so next up. So now after you get this, this tea, this night ritual with a hot cup of tea before you go to bed, you probably are going to sleep a little bit better. Now, for those of you that you can't get your mind turned off, I want you to go and look for a tea that has skull cap in it. Skull cap, SKULLCAP. Check and see if it's going to work with you. If you're on some medications, whatever, you got to find out what the contradictions are, the contraindications are. That's on you. Do your homework. I can't give you everything. I can give you some direction, but I can't give you everything. Okay. Next, and why I say skull cap? Because skull cap is like putting a cap on it. Slow that mind down. Okay? Slow that mind down. Slow that mind down with skull cap. Okay, so I want you to do that. Next, after the 2 weeks, if you kind of mastering that. Now, mind you, if you miss a day or two, listen, the world ain't going to come to an end. Because, see, that's the other problem. There's no perfection in this world. So we get off the wagon, and then we recognize, and we get back on the wagon. I have been exercising on a regimen for 2 years. You know how many times I got off the wagon? And I get back on the wagon? And I get back on the wagon. And I get off and get back on. And my guy, he'll be like, okay, get back, like, you good. Be patient. Be patient. Give yourself some grace. He doesn't say grace, but be patient. Like, it's okay. You doing good. So that encouragement is amazing, right? Same thing, encouragement I'm giving to you. You miss a day or two a week, get back on the wagon and start again. It's that simple. We're not here for perfection. There's no perfection. We're just here to create a spiritual practice and a journey, okay? So that we can begin to commune, create a practice where we are connecting with spirit, where spirit begins to guide our lives. That's what we are working on. Next up, let's get our journal out. Now, a journal for me can be all kinds of things, right? I'm going to just show you. I got from all kinds of journals, y'all. I got this pretty journal here that I will never write in. It's like too pretty to write in. I bought it because it was pretty, right? But here's what I want to share with you, right? I want to share with you, let's do this. I want to share with you my planner. Oh my gosh. Y'all, did y'all know I had a planner? You didn't know I had a planner? Well, guess what? I'm going to share with you today. This is my planner, Daily Soul Rituals. And guess what the great thing about this planner is? It's a 90-day planner. I'm going to let y'all get it. Daily Soul Rituals. It's the only planner that's available in the shop. So if you go to my website, eclecticsacredliving.com, Eclectic Sacred Living, is in the description here. Go there and you can order a copy. It's in hard copy. It's so beautiful. And guess what it's going to do? It's going to let you record your daily thoughts. It's going to let you record your daily infusions, which is your tea. If you take an herbalism in a weekend, it's going to allow you to record the tea blends that we talk about in herbalism in a weekend. And again, if you're interested in herbalism in a weekend, go to herbalisminaweekend.com. herbalisminaweekend.com, and you can sign up and take the course. It's like a 2-day course. It's about 8, 9 hours, 10 hours of me talking and teaching about herbalism, and I teach ancestral spiritual herbalism because everything I do is connected to spirit. Yes, spirit's my homie. Okay, that's how we get down. Okay, so I want you to get out your journal, your planner. You should go and grab your Daily Soul Rituals because that's what we're building here. And record your thoughts. record your desires, and ask, one of the things that you can ask Spirit is, what do you need to work on? How do I become, let's say, for me, like, who do I need to become? Spirit, who do I need to become in order to be a successful entrepreneur, let's say? Spirit, who do I need to become? Like, this is how I talk to Spirit all the time. At night before I go to bed, I typically meditate on my day, have deep gratitude for my day. When I'm drinking my hot cup of tea, I'm having deep gratitude for my day. Like today, I'm so grateful, Spirit, for the people that you put in my path, so that I could share my gifts and talents. When I wake up in the morning, I always ask Spirit. I always say, Spirit, anybody I meet today, I want to leave them in a better place than when I met them. I want to instill something in them, impart something in them that will change their life, something that will make their day better. That's how I wake up in the morning, and that's what I say, hey, Spirit, where we going today? Because I don't usually have a tight schedule. So, I set my intentions by the new moon, right? So when the new moon happens, I'm sitting there writing out my intentions, what would I like to accomplish based on, whatever it is I'm working on. On the full moon is a manifestation, but here's how this works. The new moon may be in Aries, right? Or Libra. We had a new moon in Libra, let's say in October 14, 2023, because it depends on when you're looking at this. I want to give you a good timeline, because you may be watching this 5 years from now, and I just want to give you some idea of how this works. The new moon was October 14, 2023. And we had a full moon in March of 2024. It's typically 6 months that it takes for the manifestation process from new moon to full moon. And I'm going to do some more stuff about the moon and all that stuff. And for those of you that don't believe in the moon, it's okay. Those tides go in and out based on the moon. And let me tell you something. If you ever have surgery on your mouth, because I'm going to tell you, I have had surgery on my mouth. And when I had my wisdom teeth pulled, and I had them both done on this side, like this, right? I'm going to tell you, every day at 6 o'clock, I knew when it was 6 o'clock. You know why? Because that aching feeling came on, and it was driven by the moon, right? And the tide. So I don't care what you think. Go have some surgery, especially on your mouth. And tell me how you feel when that sun start going down, that moon start coming out, what's going to happen to you. You better take your medication before the moon come out, baby, because if not, throb. That's what you're going to be feeling. Throb. And then you're going to have to wait for that medication to kick in. So that's kind of how the moon works, right? And then we set our intentions in the new moon, and I was going to say macerate because I'm thinking herbalism. They're going to come, they manifest depending on how, what you did. So if you set your intentions on the new moon and you say, Spirit, okay, what do I need? Who do I need to become in order for this to manifest in 6 months from now? And then wait for the direction. Direction can come through people. I know that Spirit be sending me messages through my guy. Like, he be saying stuff he don't even know what he's saying, but I know what he's saying because Spirit telling me through him. And they saying it in the way that I know how Spirit talked to me. And it'll be kind of crazy. You'll be like, oh, so. And I'll be like, oh, okay. All right, Spirit, I get it. I hear you. That's how it comes, right? So, or it'll come through people. Or I may be doing one thing, and then it's all of a sudden you get this big urge, like, get dressed, go outside. Like today was one of those days. Get dressed, go outside. I wasn't going outside today. But Spirit's like, get dressed, go outside. Well, let me tell you, when I went outside today, first of all, when I finally got up and said, okay, I'm going to get dressed, I was meditating on, okay, Spirit, how can I connect with more people? How can I you gave me all these gifts. And this is how I talk to Spirit. Spirit, you gave me all these gifts. You gave me all these ideas. You told me to build all these businesses. They are built. Now, how can I get my product services in front of the people that need them? No lie. 30 minutes later, bing, bing, on my phone. A friend of mine said, hey, we need would you like to be a vendor at my brunch? and be an astrologer as an astrologer, I was like, oh, wow. I had just had this conversation with Spirit. And here was a manifestation of it. Because am I am devoted to Spirit. I'm deep into my practice. I meditate every day. It's like the dedicated student, the student that shows up and does the work gets the prize, right? They get the reward. I'm here to be a servant. I'm here to live out the purpose, right? I'm here to live out my purpose. And it was like Spirit used my guy to get me out my bed or get me out my house to live my purpose. He's like, you got purpose. You got to live your purpose. And so because I am walking and living my purpose, I get the fruit of that, which is the manifestations of the things that I desire. But the things I desire are in alignment with my purpose. I'm just asking Spirit, okay, Spirit, I did all the things that you asked me to do. I was diligent with it. I was patient with it. Now I need your help to know who to go to. Where do I go next? What? And ding, ding. That's how it works. Ding, ding. Of course. She's like, well, I said, well, what's the vision? Like, how do I do this? She sent me all the information. Matter of fact, I sent the money before I even filled out the form because she only had 5 spots and I wanted one of them. And I knew that if I went out and did all the other things that Spirit wanted me to do, it was like an urgency. Pay now. That's what he said. Pay, Spirit, get your spot now. That's why she contacted you. Don't go do something else. Have you ever had that feeling like, do it now? And you ignore it? I've learned my lesson. Spirit say move now, I move now. Opportunities are never missed. They're just passed on to people willing, ready, and able to take action. Did y'all hear me? Opportunities are never missed. They're just passed on to people willing, ready to take action. That part. So me, I stayed ready, so I don't have to get ready. So I was ready. I went. She's like, cash app, bum, bum, bum. I did what I had to do. I paid, and I can fill out the application later because she already know my name. She already know my name because she contacted me. Listen, ain't nobody gonna tell you, I don't want your money. So I got her the most important piece. Spirit said, pay her. You can do the paperwork later when you get back in. Now, here's another thing. Be a person of your word. That's another spiritual piece. Be impeccable with your word. And if you cannot be impeccable with communication, saying that you can't. Because we live in a society that we don't care about each other the way I think we should care about each other. And so I show my gratitude through being ready, right? Because Spirit gives me things to prepare, and I'm prepared because I'm showing Spirit that I am responsible. I'm showing Spirit that I appreciate. I'm showing Spirit, you can trust me. You can trust me with the kingdom. You can trust me with what you have put purpose inside of me. You could trust me with it. So I'm okay. I'm ready to receive the abundance. I'm ready to receive all the things that you have for me. You promised me. That's why I have a spiritual practice. I show up every day in deep gratitude. That's showing appreciation. That's showing appreciation long before the thing that I may desire has even manifested in the physical realm. I know it exists in the spiritual realm because if it didn't exist in the spiritual realm, I wouldn't even have it as a thought. I can't have something that's a thought that I can't have in the physical realm, right? It's a thought. And if it's in alignment with my purpose, it's got to manifest into the physical realm. But I have to be obedient to the practice of connecting, of doing the work that Spirit has called me to do, to grow in the areas that Spirit has asked me to grow. And I had to learn how to be patient. This growth in this. This is not, I get it. You know what? Because sometimes we ask for things that we are not mature enough to get receive. We lack the maturity and the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Is spiritual growth. It's personal development. It's healing. Because sometimes if Spirit gave us what we asked for when we asked for it and we lack the maturity to handle it, then guess what happens? We waste it. So there's a form of protection for you to prepare you for that which you desire, and you'll be ready for it. You'll have the maturity to embrace it fully. That's why spiritual practice is so important. That's why knowing who you are and your purpose in life is important. You don't have to find your purpose. You was born with your purpose. You just have to connect with your purpose. And here's a couple of ways that you can do it. One is through your spiritual practice, communing and being quiet and still, right? And allowing Spirit to talk to you and pour into you. And, you could do that. Some people do it through the Bible. Some people do it through reading A Course in Miracles. I'm telling you all these things because I have. See, I've read the Bible. I have a connection with the Bible. I just don't have the connection everybody else has with it, right? And I am constantly reading, developing, being a student, right, of spirituality. I've been called to spirituality. I ran from it like a bat out of hell and nobody was chasing me. And then I got comfortable with it. And that's why I have a YouTube channel and I'm talking about it. Because it's the thing that keeps me chill. Because I always say, like, I get these downloads and I sit with things. Sitting with things means that I'm asking Spirit and I'm waiting for an answer. The answer don't always come like a microwave, because sometimes I have to do some work on myself in order to get the thing. Sometimes it comes through partnership and union and relationship with others that we learn the thing. So we have to be okay with receiving the answer to who do I need to become. I'm going to give you a perfect example. I love getting people to answer that question because, I work with a lot of women. And a lot of women want a man. Child, let me get started on. I don't even know. I could be talking about this topic forever. I'm gonna have to do an episode just on relationships because that's my thing, relationships. But I'm gonna keep this one short. A lot of women I see out here when I go on social media and I listen to what they're saying. This is from a woman that was married 28 years and happily married. Death do its part. He died and we parted. 28 years. Half the people out here telling y'all stuff, they ain't been married a day in their life. And they have never had a successful relationship, but they tell you all about relationships. Child, let me tell y'all. Some of y'all ladies out here ain't ready for nobody's relationship because you don't have the first one. That's with yourself. See, relationships start with you. What's your relationship with yourself is a question. And that's a whole lot of episodes. But I'm going to tell you, this is how you get started. Because you can ask Spirit questions like, who am I? What's my purpose? And I'm going to give you a clue. What's the thing that keeps showing up over and over again with ease, with grace and flow in your life? What comes easy to you? Ask Spirit to reveal that to you. Because what's the common thread of your life? What keeps showing up for you? What warms your heart? You see, spirituality, as far as I can remember, spirituality has been a part of my life. I've been a seeker of truth all my life. And I've worked with, I'm a certified coach, holistic, like all of this has been a part of me. holistic wellness, holistic nutritionist. The things that I gravitate to are the things that I'm supposed to do in my life. That's my purpose. I'm a girly girl. I like to cook. I like to decorate. I like fashion. I like food. I like all the Venetian things. But it's rooted in spirituality. See, because when we look at the girly girl things, that's igniting and living through our sensuality, which is our five senses. Sensuality is not sexuality. Man and all the people in society may tie sexuality to sensuality, but I promise you, if you look at the root, the Latin root of sensuality, it ain't sexuality. That's man that brought those two together. Now, we can bring sexuality to a sensual experience. We can do that, right? Or we can bring sensuality to a sexual experience. But it is not the one and the same. Whenever I'm talking about sensuality, I ain't never talking about sexuality. Because most people have no connection. Most women don't have a connection to themselves, their body, their womb, WOMB. They have no connection to their womb. And you know how I know that they don't? How they talk about men. That is a key indicator for me, how you feel about yourself, how you talk about men, how you treat men. I'll leave that for another time. How you treat men and how you talk about men and how you relate to them is a clear indication what relationship you have with yourself. Because see, if you had a connection to your womb, WOMB, you would know that you are the creation center of mankind. And I'm not just talking about creating boys and girls, but I'm also talking about the creation, anything. When a man gives you a seed, an idea, a concept, a thought, a woman has the ability to expand that and turn that into something magnificent because we have a womb. And when you have a deep connection to your womb, that is your power source of being a woman. And when you have that connection to your womb, that's your spiritual portal. That's why you don't want everybody in your womb, because they leave. Let me not go there today. We're going to have that conversation another time. I'm just trying to help you get on to develop a spiritual practice today. But I'm just going to leave this with you. Don't have everybody in your womb. Because if you got to have everybody in your womb, that clearly is another indication that you don't have a connection to yourself. Because the fact that you have a connection to yourself will let you know that your body is sacred. Yep. And your womb is a house and a container for that power that you have. And so you want to start honoring who you are on your journey of connecting with your purpose, connecting with your womb, connecting with yourself. That's the first relationship. Because if you don't have a relationship with yourself, if you don't know who you are, and you don't know what your purpose is, you are going to get yourself in a world of trouble, because you're going to be looking for yourself outside of yourself from somebody else. And nobody, no one can love you the way that you're going to love you. Love starts with you. You have to come as a whole healed person. This 50-50, I don't believe in that. Be a whole healed person. I want you a whole healed person. Yeah, we're going to continue to heal. Healing never stops. But I want you to be in that high ranking level when you as you go. And because guess what? We're never 100% healed. But what you develop on that healing journey is called acute self-awareness. And having a spiritual practice will help you connect to your purpose, will help you connect with acute self-awareness. And when I talk about acute self-awareness, I'm talking about like watching a drop of water lands on a leaf and then watching that water dissipate and drop to the ground. See, we are nature, and when we become mindful and we develop a spiritual practice, we develop what is called acute awareness. And then we begin to know ourselves, and we can say, no, that's not me, I don't want to do that. And you can say, no, that's not me, I don't want to do that either. You see, and you'll also begin to be a tad more modest, and you won't be seeking attention through your clothing. You won't be seeking attention through, wearing tight clothes, getting a boob job, getting your butt done. I'm not against any of that if that's what you truly desire, but I really don't know if a lot of people truly desire to put their life on the line getting a BBL. I really don't think so. I don't really think they've thought that through. But I'm going to leave that for another day too. So this spiritual practice is going to help you get really clear on who you are. And especially now, since we're in Pluto and Aquarius, and we're going to be there for 22 years. We're going to be there till September 1st. We're going to leave for a little bit and come back in November. And then we're going to be in Pluto and Aquarius for 22 years. And if you know anything about Aquarius don't dances to the beat of their own drum. Aquarius dance to the beat of their own drum. They are all about individuality and freedom. Trust and believe. My personal identity is Saturn and Aquarius in the first house. I got so much of Aquarius energy in me. It's crazy. My mama was an Aquarius. My guy is an Aquarius. Like all these things. Aquarius is everywhere for me. And Pluto is an Aquarius where? In my first house. So it's pushing me out here. It's pushing me to be my own independent person. Right? So, I'm just saying. Listen. Your spiritual practice is what's going to help you get to where you want to go in life. Your spiritual practice is all the things you do to connect to yourself. It's all the things you do to connect to spirit, to guide you. It's your journaling, it's your writing, it's your meditation, it's your prayer, it's you communing with nature, it's you having plants in your home. Because when you bring nature in, when you think about, just think about nature. Nature never has to be told what to do. Spring comes, followed by summer, followed by fall, followed by winter. It just happens. And it's when you connect to a higher source, when you connect to, that calm feeling, that warm feeling inside of you, when you just know, right? It's just like, I just know that I'm good. Like, I just know that I'm here to grow and to become the best version of myself. And I ask Spirit every day, like, how can I become the best version of myself today? And there are things that just align, conversations that I have, random people I meet. Don't take these things for granted. It's Spirit planting those things in front of you, like little clues. I feel like sometimes I'm just going through I'm going through the maze of life, and there's little sprinkles everywhere I go. Right? Some of them are good, and some of them are like, oh, I have to grow here. It feels uncomfortable. It feels like you're stretching. It feels like you're growing. But when you know that you are living a life on purpose, you know that it's taking you in the direction in which you desire to go in, and those things start lining up for you. And then when you surrender, because a couple months ago, I was just like, okay, Spirit, I'm tired. I just surrender. I surrender. And matter of fact, I met a lady today, and she used the word surrender. I said, that's my word. That's the word that I've learned, surrender. Because guess what? In our mind, we don't have the ability to know everything. That's why I rely on Spirit. It's easier. Okay, Spirit, what you want me to do today? What you want me to do with this information? Is this the way I'm supposed to go? Oh, is it? Okay. And I get confirmation. Just like when I was moving. I moved from Florida to the DMV. How did I move here, Spirit? Somebody came and told me that I was needed here in the DMV. I was like, oh, really? Next day I sat with it. What does that mean when I sit with it? That means that I sat down, drank coffee. I drank some tea. Not coffee because I don't drink coffee. I drank some tea. Because herbal tea, like real loose herbal tea that I blend, that just gets my energy flowing. And I feel connected, right? So I drink my tea. I start writing in my journal. Okay, Spirit, what we doing here? Is this a go? And I could tell inside my body, like, is my body nervous? Is my body tense? Is my body relaxed? Like, you get to know the way that Spirit talks to you. But you got to sometimes you got to sit there and wait. When you first starting and you don't know, you just got to be patient and wait. Spirit will tell you, but it ain't on your time. It's not on your time. It's on Spirit's time. We got to learn patience. Child, let me tell you, I had to learn patience. And that's not one of my best things, but I have definitely passed the class now. Patience. And so, patience. But here's what I will tell you. If you really are lost and you really don't really kind of understand what you need to do, you need to get an astrological reading. And I'm going to do a whole episode on that. But you need an astrological, your natal chart explained to you. I will tell you that I am on my purpose track like nobody's business because my natal chart confirms so many things that I was feeling. And it also identified for me some rare placements that were blindsiding me, some quincunx, for those of you that may know. And also, it was, I had some interceptions that's a whole nother blind spot, right? And so when I found out those things, I leaned in and I was able to heal some things from my deceased father. Like, I'm going to tell you, it's going to take a long time to heal when you're ready and you want to. Sometimes you are just so resistant to the spiritual practice of sitting still. And you know what? Sometimes you got to turn off all the noise. You got to turn off the TV. You got to turn off the music. You got to turn off everything and sit with yourself. That's what you got to do. Sit with yourself. I know that's hard, y'all. I did 3 years. Matter of fact, I don't even watch TV. I don't even turn on my TVs. My TVs ain't been on in a year. I don't watch TV. Because as one of my mentors told me, TV takes away vision. And I need all the vision I could get. So, yeah. But I want you to start this spiritual practice by, one, meditating. If you got to go take a class in meditation. Okay? Find out what's going to work for you. You can, spiritual practice, write in your journal. Sitting and being still and quiet. Going in nature and just being still and quiet in nature. Take off these rubber shoes, y'all, and put your feet in some daggone dirt. Get grounded. Start working on your health, because your body's a temple of God. How you doing with the self-care? Are you grateful with the body that you have? Are you showing gratitude by taking care of your body that's all given to you on loan? And also being grateful is another thing. Like, spirituality is about gratitude. What are you grateful for? Like, I got a long list. I'm so grateful that I am alive. I'm well, in good health, vibrant. I had the ability to work out every day. I'm of a sound mind. I'm grateful that I can live by myself. I'm grateful that I have an amazing guy in my life. I'm grateful for my businesses. I'm grateful for the people that I help every day. I'm grateful that I'm an herbalist. I'm grateful that I could go outside in nature. I'm grateful that I don't have to go to a job every day. Child, do you want me to go on with the gratitude? I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful I could come here and talk to y'all and share my wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Like, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I am no longer an introvert and I have the ability to be myself with ease, grace, and flow, of course, and come and talk to you and not even be nervous, because there was a time when I wouldn't even be here. And I wouldn't be talking to you like this as my pure, authentic self. I'll be scared. I know people right now that are mobilized. They got great information. They are mobilized and unwilling to even get on camera. So I'm grateful that I can and I will. But that's because Spirit's been working on me and giving me the courage and the confidence to show up. And that's been coming through people, bringing people in my life that cared enough about me, that got me out the bed and said, yo, you got purpose. You better get out that bed. You better get out here in this world. You an herbalist. You this, you that. You need to get out here and do this stuff. So that's why I'm here. Because people were brought into my life to help me on my journey called life. And I'm so grateful. When I say I am so grateful, I am so grateful. I am so grateful that I get to share my journey with you. I'm so grateful that Invite Sacred Home was poured into my spirit. And I get to live an amazing life and bring you along on the journey. I'm just so grateful. So I hope that I don't want to overwhelm you with a whole lot of things to do and a whole lot of things about spiritual practice. I just want to give you the basics. I want you to get started. I want you to begin the journey. And as time goes on, I'll come back with more. I'll share with you more. I'll show you more. But right now, I just want you to have that hot cup of tea, get your journal out, and I want you to begin to be quiet, sit in nature, put your feet in the ground, and I want you to what? Understand you are nature. I want you to understand and start connecting with your own sensuality, which is your 5 senses. And we're going to add the 6th one in, your intuition. That may have to be developed over time, but first and foremost, let's start eating our food and tasting our food. Let's start smelling the roses and the flowers and start inhaling our food. Let's start engaging our eyes. Let's start engaging our hearing and positivity. Right? Let's start touching and feeling. Let's start doing all that. If we can engage our 5 senses and we can start meditating, we can start sitting still and we can start drinking our tea, we can start getting somewhere. So thank you for sharing this time with me. My name is Thérèse Eve and my company is Eclectic Sacred Living. I also own a brand called A New Positive, and I also have a AI tech company called Shepherd Consulting. So I'm a partner in those, and we're excited. We're going to be bringing, and I'm going to be talking about AI and how you can embrace AI. We are going to be talking about all sorts of things, but I want to leave you with some key things. What we do here is we're bridging spirituality, sensuality, and authenticity with practicality. I'm going to make all those things that don't typically go together. And I'm going to take you across the bridge and on the journey with me. And so I thank you again for being here. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And until next time, your life is waiting. When are you going to show up? Bye for now. And again, my name is Thérèse Eve at eclecticsacredliving.com. You can find everything there. And don't forget, subscribe, like, and share. And bye for now.